Hey everybody, my name's Francine, and if you're new to my channel, thank you for dropping in. I am an educator, teacher of Year 3 from sunny Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. I've been teaching for 11 years and I like to vlog about my classroom and anything educational, so thank you for joining me. Today in this vlog I am wanting to talk about working walls or learning walls, whatever you want to call it. I always called them learning walls, but I've changed it to working walls because I feel that working walls are a wall that is always changing, that the kids are working on, that is evolving. Yes, it is a learning wall, but I've changed that. I want to call it a working wall now. So if I do revert back to a learning wall when I'm talking about it, you know what I mean. I'm talking about working walls. So I just want to talk about them because in our area in southeast Queensland, we are big on learning walls or working walls. And so when I've gone to look up information on different types, to have a look at different types, because that's where I get my ideas, and I've gone onto Pinterest and I've looked on YouTube, there isn't a lot out there that spoke to me in the way that I needed to hear what they had to say. So the walls weren't what I was looking for, or they weren't how I felt I wanted the direction of my working walls to go. So I thought I'd make this little vlog to show you my working walls for math and English, because if there's someone out there that is in the same boat as me and is looking for different ways to present their working walls, to use their working walls, then I thought this might be something that they could look at. So in this vlog, not only will I have my working walls, we did, as a PD or a little meeting, staff meeting, we went round and viewed all the year levels and all their working walls because the whole school has taken it on. So I'm going to pop in some different walls from different grade levels so that it will give inspiration and some ideas that you can use in your working walls, because that's what I've been looking for. I finally found what I wanted. It's evolved over the last term or two, and it's into my English and maths are different, but they're how I like them, and they will keep on evolving all the time. And when we do the working walls, they change constantly for the kids as well. So our English wall changes depending on what units of work we are doing or what the assessment asks for. Most of the time we have 2 assessments to 3 assessments during the term for English. Occasionally we have 1 unit that has a couple of assessments, but 1 focus. So for English, the board might change twice a term, sometimes just once a term. For maths, it's an ever-changing board because we have so many assessments during the term. So we have a 10-week term, and there might be 5 different areas that we need to cover in the assessment for that term. So I do teach number and place value daily with my children, but I do focus on a certain aspect of maths, and that at the moment is measurement, but it could be any of the different areas of mathematics that we focus on. So my focus might take 2 weeks depending what the assessment asks for, and we will work through it, and at the end of the 2 weeks I will take all the work off the board and we'll start again with the next focus that we need, remembering that I always do number and place value, algebra all the time. So I'm just going to show you first off my math wall. So I'm going to take you on a little walk around. So I'm going to show you my math wall first. I can't show you a lot of it because I do have a lot of pictures of students on there, so I'm just going to talk you through some of the main parts of the math wall, which is here. So I will turn you around and we can work through it together. So first off, on our math wall, we start at the top. It's called my math working wall. Up the top I have these balloons which are a staple on here. They just carry all the different ways that we can say subtraction, division, multiplication, addition, and when we're doing greater than, less than, equal to, and the same. So they're a constant, they just stay there. Then we always have the learning intention and success criteria, which, sorry, the glare of the lights. So these change out only once every 1 to 2 weeks, depending on what the focus is. So as you can see, it's measurement. So there's our learning intention, and here's our success criteria. So yes, there is a lot of success criteria. I don't teach all of that in the 2 weeks. I will focus on whatever the assessment is looking for. But hopefully by the end of year 3, because we do go back to measurement every 2 or 3 times in the year, and I will choose different parts of the success criteria to focus on. And then I write up, so if we go pan round to my board out the front, over here is where in the morning, if we're working on a part of measurement that might be capacity, I will write the learning intention and success criteria from here, but the kids will only see a certain part, so they don't go, oh, that's a lot that we have to do. So this success criteria here, I won't do it all in the next 2 weeks. I'll only do the parts that are to do with our assessment. And so this is our assessment criteria here, our guide to making judgments. And I take each of the levels, the A to E, and I place them on our ladder. So we have a learning ladder right there, and each of those rungs has a part of the assessment that the students need to be able to do. So the way I work it is we all start off at the bottom, and there we are at the bottom, and to work their way up, I start off with a part. So we start off with like the D, the E and the D together, then we work up to the C, the B and the A. The kids will do it, they will do a exit ticket. So we have the exit tickets. Once they get a sticker and a stamp, they get to move up the rung. They move their little person up to the next part of the ladder until we get to the top, which is what, if they're an A student, they'd be doing this, which is up the top. Now, just because the students move up the ladder, because by showing me their exit tickets or their working class that they have mastered that part of the ladder, doesn't mean just because they're at the top they're going to get an A in their assessment. It means that they've shown me they can do it. Some have mastered it, some can do it with a little bit of support, which is fine. Then they have to do their assessment test, and that's where they get the A to E. But this just shows that yes, you can do it, and you have moved up the ladder and you have performed well. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, we take it all off and everyone starts down the bottom. The exit slips all get stapled together. So we put the exit slips up the side as we go, and they get stapled together and they get to take them home. So that's that. Okay, over here we did do a very fun activity, which was the unlock the box. And it was a winter one on addition and subtraction. I've never done an unlock the box before or an escape room. And I'm really eager to try some more because the kids absolutely enjoyed it. So we just have a few photos showing the kids doing it. But it was a big hit, so really enjoyed it. It was about addition and subtraction. So we will definitely be doing more. So I put that up there. We also here have some problems that the kids need to do during maths time. So they can get the little post-it notes and whatever it is, at the moment this is the answer, give me the problem, so the kids will put it up. They don't have to do this. It's for them to have a go at. There are some kids who don't understand the question maybe, or don't want to do it. That's fine. They do get rewarded for giving it a go, and I always pick the best ones out to have a read to the class and just talk about them. So that's just a fun activity. It is using the maths working wall at its best, where we have students interacting with the wall. So using those post-it notes, having something that they can come over to the board, put on the board, take away from the board, and use it as an interactive component. Here's another part of our interactive board. It is a huge, it was just like a big tape measure, but it's for our capacity and our volume for the children to understand the different words involved and how much 1,000 kilometers, 1,000 meters equals and 1,000 milliliters equals, just so they can see. And we do have the kids come up and talk about it, write things on there. They have their own in their books that they write on as well. So it's another interactive part of the board. Next we have a number line that goes all the way along. Another part is our number of the day, which the students need to complete. They have a little booklet that they get, and they do this as well during their maths rotations or their maths groups. So there'll be questions on the board that they have to complete about the number of the day, hopefully getting up to the 10,000s here. But we're pretty happy with the thousands. The kids are doing really well. So they do that. They will write it in this book. So if I just get this book out and we have a look. So they'll get a book. Oh, and that one's got nothing in it. It's a new one. Some kids fill their books up very quickly. Sorry for pulling you around like that. So in their book, this is what they have during math time. So they'll have this. Sometimes we do a little math chat. Thank you to Reagan Tunstall for these. So we do a little math chat. The kids write something and we talk about it. Also, when they come to me during small group, they bring this book with them and we can talk about what they've written and see if they're on the right path and why they think that. Over here, we then have the number of the day. There's a question. So this question was write the number in words and then make the biggest number out of it. So that was one of the things they have to do during maths group. Again, it's just to get them thinking. Down the bottom of here we have our times tables. So the kids can pull them off. They're just blue tacked on, so they can just take them off, take them to their desk. Some of the kids like to use them to write out their times tables if they've got nothing to do. It's something that they can do, write out their times table. Over here from I Teach with Amy, we have the word form, base 10 form, standard form, because sometimes I ask them to write it out in one of these. The other day I asked them to write in word form. Next time I might get them to do expanded form or standard, just depends. And over here we have our little multiplication competition going on. And yes, I know some people say, oh, competitions. Well, the kids actually love the chance to do this. It's a multiplication. And yes, I give those students who are not so great at multiplication little chances to be amazing. So it's just something they like to do, and they like to see how they're going. And some kids are just really, well, lots of my kids are very competitive. I make it easy for all of them. There is an award for everybody who completes this, but some kids, as you can see, are doing really, really well. Just something I got for free, I think, on Teachers Pay Teachers. So yeah, that was really good. Over here, okay, so over here we have, still part of the maths board, we have our vocabulary board, and at the moment we're doing measurement. So here are all the words to do with measurement. Over here we have our rotation, so here's our groups. We have a number board, so different ways to write the number. And here we have the maths group, so when they do rotations, if they're doing their journal work, they come and grab their journal and they do whatever is expected, which is usually in these boxes here. So that is my math learning wall, working wall. Really proud of it, and the kids do a really good job. So now I'm going to just take you slowly around and show you my English working wall. So this is the English working wall, which we really, really enjoy. And the kids use this interactively all the time. So we start off, so it doesn't look like this. This is the end of this unit. So this is a really good view of what the end product looks like. The beginning product is an empty wall. There is nothing except maybe the learning intent, and that's it at the beginning of the unit. So this is the last week. At the end of this week, this all comes off. The kids get back their work. It all goes away into a folder, except for the bits the kids have written on. They get distributed, goes into a folder, and then we start the new unit. when we start, so this is our journey, we're doing the Lorax and we're retelling the Lorax. The kids, actually over here, we walk over here, the other end, this gives us a more comprehensive, in-depth look at what they're learning. And then it gives them their success criteria in nice and big so they can see it. It gives them an exemplar. We go through that. It gives us a writing process, and they have their writing goals over in the corner here. So there is more to just the English wall. This is actually where they're actually doing their assessment. So this is information for their assessment. They also use these, which I got from Miss Amy as well, so they can tell us using the Lynn Sharrett 5 questions that we are doing, where they might be in their reading. So that just helps with that. So they can say, well, you know, I think I'm a pro because I can do this, this and this, and they can show it. And they think at that stage that they're doing really well. So we use that so the kids can work out where they might be sitting in the class and how they can improve. Okay, so here's our wall, and we started out with our little Lorax saying the beginning of our journey. And on here I like to put little arrows to talk about where we started and what we've done. So we talked about what a retell is. We looked at the learning intention on writing a retell. We used our 5-finger retell, which we have that over here. We talked about that. We read the book, The Lorax. We discussed the characters, the setting, and began to talk about the vocabulary. So the kids went into groups, and thank you to Jess, who is a teacher at this school, for giving me this idea. I put the kids into groups. There was setting, characters, beginning, middle, and end. They got post-it notes, and they all had to write something about either the characters, the setting, the beginning, the middle, or the end. We stuck it up there. The kids have used it to get ideas for their writing. So a very valuable lesson. It was quite good. The kids had fun as well. Now over here we have our vocab. So our vocab is sitting on the truffler trees, which I just love. So they're their words. For vocab words, we do the Cafe by the Two Sisters. Some of them, their actual reading goal is expanded vocabulary. So over here I say, if I see these words written in their writing, you know, they get a little tick on their reading goal because they're using expanded vocabulary, which I love that we've put them onto the truffler trees. I think they look really cute. Okay, so down here we have, I'll talk about that in a minute anyway, so we'll follow on. So reading, and we go over here, then we sequenced the Lorax and completed our story graph. So there's one of the students' pieces of work, story graph. This is the sequencing of the Lorax, and what I do occasionally, I will mix it up and a child will come in and say, hey Mrs. Burgess, that is not in the correct sequence. They get to put it into the correct sequence, and they move their name up the behaviour chart because it shows me that they're actually using the learning wall and looking at it. So it's not just pretty wallpaper. Here's a story map by one of the students. We also then go down here. So we were learning about similes and personification, about metaphors and conjunctions in our writing. The kids made up some little posters, and we picked the best as a class to go up. Here's some work that the kids did last week using in their writing their similes and their personification. We also have little posters that tell us all about them. And here we have some more interactive things so the students can come and take off. So these are synonyms, and they can take this off, take it away. It's on both sides. They can find a word that they need. They love using it. There's another one here that gives us lots of words to describe setting, and on the back there's some personification that they could use in their writing. Oh, got it on. Here we've got some words to describe feelings, and I think on the back is characters. So they use them, they can come up, take them off the board, use them in their writing, bring it back. There's also a couple of the Lorax, some synonyms for the Lorax. So this board is just about finished. Today we also did look at, I am learning how to check my work against the success criteria. So they've started on that, and they've actually started writing their retail. So that, oh, there was also conjunctions. They also did conjunctions. So the conjunctions sit up here, and we did some lessons on conjunctions and compound sentences. The children do know, though, if the word is on the board and it's been written by myself or printed out, they know that it's the correct way to spell it, and that in their writing it should be correct. So they can come and take those cards off, these ones here, and use them if they need to. Take them to the desk, copy it. I don't mind. It's there to be used. Anything they can take off, really, that they want, because it is an interactive working wall. So there we have it. My working walls. I hope that some of that information that is on there is valuable for people. Like I said, when I was looking, there wasn't a lot. I'm also going to add in to the vlog teachers from around my school, their working wall, so that you can get a little bit more insight or pick up some tips, because even myself and my teaching partners walking around the school picked up some really good tips about other teachers' working walls and what they do.
On what they're doing. So they'll all come over here and sit down, and they'll talk about whatever it is they're learning. So they've just done the main main idea with details from their little bit of text. So they come over here and they talk about it. They've highlighted the part that they're working on. They've got examples of what they're doing. That's heading towards the model one for them. They have these on their desk, so each child knows what they're working on. And one of the kids said to me, see how they're coloured, the folder gets coloured, depending on where they're going, their goal.
Sorry.
And that's got a C on it, so they'll talk to me and say, yeah, I'm sitting at a C, or some of them say, oh, no.
So yeah, so that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you do get some valuable insights or information, or take away something from what I've shown in this vlog. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, come back, and hope to see you soon. Bye.